Hey guys, Ed here, bringing you a one-shot. Again, I cannot stress on how much I apologize for not uploading videos, but life makes it hard to do stuff. As promised, here's a one-shot, which is due to a bet by having a drinking game with Blaze from the Blessed Heroes and Kirisho. Their links will be somewhere in the description below. With no further ado, let's get into it. Unknown place. Two clans were always at war, the Senjus and the Uchihas. But at this very moment, the two clans decide to ally with each other to make a village, to promote peace. Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves. We start the story as the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, was speaking to his younger brother, which was working on a space-time seal with some notes from the Uzumaki clan. "Little brother, why don't you stop tinkering with that seal?" Hashirama inquired. "Mito told me that it's dangerous. It could even kill you." "I appreciate your concern, elder brother," Tobirama retorted. "I use my shadow clones before it is a work in order. And before you ask about my shadow clones, also harms me using by half my chakra each time. But a clone is making the shadow clones, which gives me more clones to work with. Now, if you don't mind, why don't you go back to Lady Mito? I need to work on this, because it left me open to attacks. And if another war breaks out, I don't want to be a sitting duck." "Come on, Toby," Hashirama sighed. "You can tell me if you wish to have a wife too." "What brought that up?" Tobirama blushed slightly. "I need to perfect my art and master it fully." "Toby, I can tell the way you look at Mito and myself," Hashirama said, smirking. "If you want, Mito can introduce you to some ladies of the Uzumaki clan. Or I could ask Madara to introduce you to some ladies from the Uchiha clan. Or if you want, some ladies from the Hyuga clan are beautiful. I could ask Lord Hyuga to set up a contract." "No, Hashirama, you've got it all wrong," Tobirama said, annoyed. "The reason why I look at the two of you is because of your public display of affection is bothersome. No offense to Uzumaki clan, but I can't tolerate their hyperactiveness. Uchihas and Hyugas, I don't trust them enough yet. Eventually, I will find someone, but I don't need your hand in any of it. So if you don't mind, I'm going to work on making a seal for better use of my flying Raijin, and making better combat use." "Very well, brother," Hashirama sighed. "I'll go. Good luck with the flying Raijin. Oh, before I forget," Tobirama stopped Hashirama and giving him a paper seal. "Set this up in the compound, preferably in my room. So far, it seems to work fine in a certain distance. I want to see how far and how quick." As Tobirama waited about a few hours, perfecting and preparing the necessary stuff, and to make sure that the seal was in place, he used a technique, but something went wrong. Terribly wrong. His vision went black. When he woke, he found himself in a forest, and it was nearly sunset. He assumed that nothing happened, and probably had chakra exhaustion. Making his way out of the forest, he realized he was sorely mistaken. The view was something he never seen. Carriages moving on their own, emitting their own light. Buildings reaching to the sky. Is this the future? Or is it somewhere else? He thought to himself. The flying Raijin is a space-time technique. I wouldn't put it past it. But I guess I must gather information and a base of operation. Luckily, he didn't have his signature armor or headgear. Otherwise, he would have had stood out like a sore thumb. He was wearing a casual kimono, and his kunai pouch was hidden underneath his kimono while having a kunai in his sleeve. He walked around, he saw weird people-esque creatures, making him feel uneasy. But as he continued walking down the street, nobody even questioned him or gave him his usual treatment. He finds a library and he starts his research there. Nobody batted an eye as he casually looked around. He entered historical section, came across multiple historical figures that were shinobi, and a Sasuke Sarutobi was mentioned. But as he dug deeper, it wasn't the same as the head of the Sarutobi clan he knew back in Konoha. And there were no Senju, nor Uchiha, nor Uzumaki, nor Hyuga mentioned, nor any of the things he was used to, like chakra, except for some terms like daimyo, ninja, shinobi, samurai, but they were relics of a past. And the closest person to resemble as a ninja was a guy named Edshot, with something called a quirk, which confused him. As he was engulfed in his reading, he could hear two girls giggling. He tried to ignore them, but focused on some chakra in his ears, and he overheard them, clearly talking about him, and some comments made him roll his eyes. As he looked in their direction, he was stunned by their beauty. One had short ash blonde hair with a face that reminded him of a ruby-eyed troublemaker, and the other one had a long and dark green hair with a face that reminded him of the Hyugas, but with emerald pupils. He body flickered away, leaving swirling leaves. Inko, did you see that? The blonde asked, amazed. Do you think he's some sort of pro-hero? Mitsuki, Inko sighed. I believe he was lost and afraid. I think he was kinda hot and cute, Mitsuki retorted. Meanwhile, with Tobirama, he got away as he was thinking about what those girls said about him. He roamed around, pickpocketed people that seemed rich, ordered to get some food. After he had his fill, he walked around, but he had a feeling of being followed. He made his way into an alleyway and used his chakra to stick on the wall and out of sight, only to see the two girls from the library eavesdropping. Where did that hot guy go? Mitsuki questioned. I saw him enter the alleyway. How hard is it to get a damn phone number? Mitsuki, why do you keep dragging me everywhere you go? Inko questioned. Don't ask why, Mitsuki retorted. You're the one going all goo-goo eyes. I'm helping you find a boyfriend and possibly a hubby. Besides, I can tell that guy's at least 1,000 times better than Hisashi. Mitsuki, don't bring him up, Inko said, clearly distressed out. Let's just go home. Don't worry, Mitsuki reassured. We'll find a library guy next time, so that creep Hisashi and his goons will stop bothering you. Did you call? A man said, entering the alleyway, with men in black suits, covering the exits. Inko, darling! How long has it been? 2, 3 weeks? I've been waiting in front of your house. But you didn't show up. Only to find you with this tramp. No shit, Sherlock. After you broke into her house, you really expect her to return and stay there alone? Mitsuki barked while grabbing her phone to call the police. Bad girls need to be punished, Hisashi said in a whisper. He used his quirk to shoot a fireball at her phone, destroying it. Did you really think the police can do anything? Just surrender yourselves to me, and all you have to do is take it like the slut you are, and I'll pound that ass of yours so hard and deep that you'll enjoy every moment of it. And your friend can join, so you won't be separated. And I always wanted a threesome. Before Hisashi could say anything else, he felt cold steel on his throat drawing blood, getting the attention of everyone in the alleyway. Who the fuck are you? And where did you come from? Hisashi hissed. Why should I tell a dead man? But if you really want to know, I was in this alleyway the whole time trying to find out who was following me, only to hear this whole situation. Tobirama said with a calm and cold voice. People like you disgust me. One of Hisashi's goons grabbed their gun and shot Tobirama, only for Tobirama to disappear. In his place was another goon being shot. That weapon is very intriguing and very dangerous, Tobirama said, making a few shadow clones and killing off the small fry, and leaving Hisashi shocked and the two girls in awe. Just who the hell are you? Hisashi asked, clearly disturbed. Are you a pro hero or something? Hisashi used his quirk to burn him, but Tobirama made some hand seals and used his water bullet to finish him. That was anticlimactic, Tobirama sighed. And you two stop following me. While Tobirama gathered their wallets, the two girls, especially Mitsuki, was in love. Tobirama was about to leave, but Inko spoke up. Thank you, mister, Inko stuttered. Would it be possible to treat you to some home-cooked meal? Tobirama raised an eyebrow, but Mitsuki chimed in. What my shy friend is trying to ask, if you could be so kind to escort us home, Mitsuki said. And she would like for you to join us for dinner. Little did Tobirama know, that would bring him to a whole new ballgame. Tobirama accepted the offer, and he got some information of the place he was in, and he was intrigued with everything he heard. In exchange, he gave him some information where he was from, and something clicked in his mind. In order to build Konoha properly, he could use some of the already existing stuff here and recreate it there. And that's how he got concepts for school, tuning exams, police force, Ambu Black Ops, and much, much more. Months passed. The two girls that offered him a roof intrigued him. Although he was interested in Mitsuki for her temperament, Inko caught his attention with her personality, which reminded him of home. As he researched more on his flying Raijin, he managed to pinpoint the seal in his compound, and sent a letter, which consists of reassuring letters, to Hashirama, and he also sent some of the ideas that they could start on. As more time passed, Inko and Tobirama had a daughter, which he named Kawari Senju, in honor of his dead brother, Kawarama, which started his whole idea of a ninja village. Mitsuki found a boyfriend, and by the time Kawari reached 2 years old, Inko had a boy and she named him Izuku Senju. Mitsuki had Katsuki. During this time, Tobirama explained the concept of chakra and what he knew at the time, including on how to awaken it for their children for when the time came. And when Izuku reached 3, Tobirama completed the formula to go back home. He explained what a bumbling buffoon Hashirama was, and how much his older brother needed him, promising that when his help wasn't needed anymore, he would return. But in the meantime, they could send letters by using chakra through the seal. Every day, they received letters from Tobirama, keeping them updated, sending jutsus, chakra theories, some Fuinjutsu scrolls from the Uzumaki clan, ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu scrolls, and a scroll labeled Do Not Open, which Inko put away. As years passed, letters were less frequent, and when Inko read the letters, she became more worried. But on a stormy night, Inko and the kids were watching a movie, but their family portrait fell and the glass shattered on Tobirama's image, giving Inko bad vibes. She ran up to the room where the seal tag was, and the scroll was there. She opened it, only to see it written in blood, detailing what was going on and what he chose to do, apologizing for not being able to keep his promise to them. Inko sobbed uncontrollably, causing Kawari and Izuku to investigate. When the two saw the content of the scroll, the trio hugged and cried together. Inko had flashes to the times Tobirama spoke about his world and the will of fire. And deep down, she understood the need to protect, and passing down his legacy. Time passed. Every month they sent a batch of flowers to the seal, while the room itself has become a shrine to remember and let spoken thoughts wander as it's speaking to him. Eventually, Kawari and Izuku wanted to become heroes and started to learn from the scrolls sent by their father, with Kawari being very talented. On a Father's Day, a 10-year-old Izuku was home alone. He decided to send a kid's drawing to his father with a message showing how much they missed him. A little naive of him, but there wasn't any harm in it. Little did he know, he set up multiple chain reactions. Senju Compound, Konoha. A busty blonde Sannin was just elected to be Hokage after her sensei's death, forced to return by her former teammate and his student, losing a bet with said student. It was in the middle of the night. She was going down memory lane and realized that somewhere in the compound there was a secret stash of sake that belonged to her great uncle Tobirama. She went to look for it, only to end up in an old bedroom that belonged to her great uncle, only to see lots of withered flowers, but there were some still fresh. She goes to grab something to clean the mess up, and that's when a paper resembling a kid's drawing appeared out of nowhere, or rather, from the seal marks on the wall. She looked closely at the drawing and sees 3 figures labeled Mom, Kawari, and me, with a message saying, "We miss you, Dad." That made Tsunade cry. In a way she hasn't done since Dan or Nawagi. But this time there was no grief. This time there was hope. She wasn't the last of the Senju. That's when she remembered something her great-grandma Mito once told her when she was 5, mentioning her cousins, and the way Tobirama sent them stuff, and the seal which he improved, could only be used by those that carry Tobirama's blood or his descendants. She looked at the seal and made a shadow clone, transforming it into a marble. She placed it into a box, sending it through the seal. Tobirama's shrine room, seal room, Izuku's house, MHA. Izuku turned around, about to leave, after speaking to the picture of his father, not expecting anything to happen. Instead, sound of something hitting the floor caused Izuku to turn towards the object, noting that it was a box. Izuku opened the box, revealing a marble. But before he could grab it, a puff of smoke appeared, obscuring his vision. "Kawari, you know Mom said no jutsus in the house," Izuku said, coughing. "Especially in this room. That stuff are dangerous." But Izuku froze on the spot when a blonde, busted lady that seemed to be in her late 20s appeared instead of the pranking sister he expected. "Who are you?" Izuku squeaked as he fell on the floor and scooted away towards the far wall. "How did you get here?" "My name is Tsunade Senju." She gave a gentle smile because she recognized some of his great uncle's features. I believe we're cousins. That's when the main entrance of the house opened. Inko and Kawari noticed the seal room door was open and immediately went to check on Izuku, only to find him see someone else. Who are you? Kawari glared. What did you do to my little brother? Tsunade smiled, because she can see the same fire in her eyes she used to have when she was a genin. And she looked closely. Kawari looked like a mini Tsunade when she was her age, but with Tobirama's hair, color, and green accents. Sis, she didn't do anything, Izuku said, stopping Kawari. She's family. It's true, you know, Tsunade said, as she was being inspected by Kawari, seeing how similar her personality was to her own. My name is Tsunade Senju. I'm your cousin. You seem too old to be our cousin, Kawari said, suspicious. I assume that brats like you are Tobirama's grandchildren, or something, Tsunade said. So, where are your parents? There must be a mistake here, Inko said. These are my kids, and Tobirama's was their father. What? Tsunade said, flabbergasted. That's impossible. My grand-uncle died during the First Great Shinobi War. I was only 2 or 3. This confused everyone, leaving huge gaps in between. Why don't I get you some tea and sweets, and we can discuss trying to align how the facts went, Inko said, as they all went to drink tea. To be continued.
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more. Turn on the bell notification to be updated so you never miss a video. That said, peace out.